Okay. So that's the fourth time that guy's shown up in the last while? The fourth? Really? I'm trying to get one event, but the game is not letting it show. Okay, next time I get back to Redcliffe, if it doesn't show up by then, I'll do it later. Before the end of the game. Maybe I should go and talk to her more. I don't know.
Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower? Ah, yes, Connor, of course. The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most. One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say. Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity. Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. What's on your mind? Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today. Well, thank you for your kindness, my dear. It certainly warms these rickety old bones. What's on your mind? Is something troubling you? You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us. It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight. And that gives me hope. Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old? It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago. The blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, they arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men. The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, they formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead, and then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for them. When the clouds finally rolled back and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none. This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn. This knowledge has been blessing. What's on your mind? I will answer to the best of my ability. People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then. I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby. I had singed his hair and eyebrows, but injured little other than his pride. Thankfully, all I had to endure was a few nights locked. The Templars arrived several mornings later. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home. We were the lucky ones. I learned very quickly that for every apprentice in the tower, no child, not even a mage child, is a match for an angry mob trying to place blame for a failed crop, a hard winter. Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the circle. It has been almost a year, hasn't it? Do you miss the tower at all? You can take a mage out of the circle, but you can't take the circle out of the mage. He was joking, but there is some truth to the statement. A mage never really leaves the circle, and for the rest of your life you will be seen as a circle mage. Yes, even though you are a Grey Warden, you represent both mages and Grey Wardens, and your actions may reflect well or badly on both groups. Remember that. Oh, but listen to me go on. You start a conversation, and I just run away with it, don't I? I've been mentoring apprentices for so long, it's become something I do unconsciously. What's on your mind? It is...
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Time for more darkspawn. I see.
What's on your mind? No, you won't. No, it wouldn't, would it? You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are. When I was a young woman in the tower, family, love, a simple life, these were things that others took for granted. It made me very moody. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I must have looked tearful, and because I had no one else to talk. But she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason. And I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, but I always found my way back. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same. The revered mother had lived in the chantry. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around. And there is joy, even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours. You can scream and cry and be angry about life. What's on your mind? It is no trouble. I fell. For a moment there, I thought it was all over. I will... I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier.